Hello, everybody. This is Broke On Records. Here to do one of my two favorite videos to make every year. The other one being April Record Store Day, and this one being Black Friday Record Store Day. I had a very interesting record store day. I guess not particularly all that interesting. I did not go out to the city. I kept it local. There was nothing on the list that I felt like I really needed, but for some reason, once I picked out the few titles I was interested in, I seemed very gung-ho about making sure I got them all. Just the way my stupid brain works. I did not get the Grateful Dead box set, despite my attire for this video. I held it in my hands, I thought about it. I said, my store only got, I basically had a short list of like 8 titles. Oh, and I actually forgot to pull one thing here that I'll show really quickly in a moment. But I had a short list of basically like 8 things I wanted. One of those titles was the Ultravox CD, which my stores never get anymore. They've brought the pressing numbers on those down quite a bit, so I pretty much always have to order those online, which is fine. I got that from the In-Groove yesterday, so that'll be on its way to me shortly. But I have all the other Ultravox Record Store Day Black Friday CDs. So what's another one to the list? And then there was another title that they did not get, which I got at another store, which I'll show. But everything else that my store got, they only got, except for one title, 1 or 2 copies of. So I got there. They were going to open at 10. I got there around 7:45, which was still 15 minutes earlier than I planned. And there was already 13 to 15 people in front of me, which normally I would not feel a way about, but because their allocations were so limited, I was a little concerned, particularly because from what I heard, a few of the things I was really interested in this year seemed to be the things that a lot of people are interested in, and according to the Discogs resale prices of some of these things already, I may have not needed to go at all, which is often the case, but I've been doing it for, relatively 15 years. At least getting one Record Store Day title twice, minimum one title twice a year for the last 15 years or so. Whether that's online, whether that's in Chicago at Reckless, whether that's other stores. So I would just go and do it. And maybe one day I'll get sick of it. I feel like this was the first year, because it was so cold. Both times, both April and November this year, were so fucking cold. This was really the first year where I was like, why do I do this? But then I get a nice stack of limited records in my hand. So, more or less, I got everything I wanted. I didn't get the SpongeBob. I would have liked it. I played the shit out of that CD as a kid, which is the only reason I really wanted it. And I thought about ordering it from a leftover store that I kept getting emails about, and I was just like, I don't know, $30 for a nostalgia buy is not totally worth it for me. Plus, when I ordered my Ultravox CD from the In-Groove, I got another very nostalgic film soundtrack for his Black Friday sale, which I think means a lot more to me. So I'll show that in another video when it comes in. I didn't get the Grateful Dead, passed on it. I said if everything I wanted sold out when I was at my store, I would have gotten the Grateful Dead box set. But thankfully, I did not have to do that. The Buffalo Springfield and the Birds was kind of the only other thing that I was interested in. It looks real nice. It looks like there might be some of those floating around. But no, it's Buffalo Springfield post Neil Young, so I'm not crazy about it. But Buff and the Birds on the same record, very enticing. I haven't really cared about any of those Monterey Pop records they've done until this particular one. All right, so let me talk about what I got really quickly. Before I do that, just want to show a couple other things that came in the mail this week. First off, a huge shout, boy, that is glary. A huge shout out to Melanie Loves Death Metal, one of my favorite YouTube vinyl community channels, one of the few channels I watch pretty much every single video from. She buys and sells a lot of extreme metal releases, and she was selling this one, which had already been on my want list. And I thought, what better place to buy it from than her, so I didn't have to buy it from Amazon or anywhere else. Even though the next record I'm about to show, I did buy it from Amazon. This is the new Blood Incantation album, Absolute Elsewhere. This is the deluxe art book edition that has 3 CDs and a Blu-ray. It's got the album. It's got a soundtrack that they did. It has the Luminescent Bridge 12-inch single on a CD, and then a Blu-ray with the 5.1 of Absolute Elsewhere and a documentary about the making of Absolute Elsewhere. Really, really nice set. If you're into prog, progressive death metal, you know, I'm sure you already know about Blood Incantation, but this album is as good as everyone says it is, so make sure you check it out. So thank you, Melanie, for sending that my way. I bought it from her. It's not, I mean, so, but I still consider it VCLT because it was shipped to me from a vinyl community member. And then I did buy one record from Amazon. I made a want list of records for my family to say, you know, hey, just if you're stuck on things to buy me, here's my want list, whatever. So I'd been paying attention to what things were on Black Friday prices, and they had one copy left of this album for $30, and I copped it. So this is a band called 40 Watt Sun, a band that I've just been head over heels in love with for a few years. If you're not familiar, this is the project of a guy named Patrick Walker from the UK. He was in a very respected doom metal band called Warning, and Warning had a couple albums, and now he's been doing this 40 Watt Sun project for the last few years. So they put out an amazing album this year. That's one of my favorite albums of the year. This is their second most recent album, I believe from 2022, maybe, or 2021. I want to say 2022. Perfect Delight. This is an awesome triple LP set in a wide spine gatefold. But it's the album on 2 LPs. It's got a nice big booklet, and then it's got a 12-inch with some extra tracks. This one comes on yellow. I have really nice CD reissues of the Warning albums. The vinyl are very expensive to get a hold of, but they recently reissued the first 2 40 Watt Sun albums, and then they put out, like I said, a new album this year. So I'm trying to get all the 40 Watt Sun on vinyl, but this, I couldn't pass this up for $30 since they had only one copy left. It clearly was like a thing that had been returned to them, so I was able to get a little bit of a kind of a damage discount on it, but there's that. Okay, on to the Black Friday finds. The one title I picked up for my girlfriend, this is Circa Survive, Dissentious. Circa Survive is an awesome kind of progressive leaning emo and alternative band, you know, in the realm of things like Kobe Cambria and Mars Volta and things like that. This is, I believe, their 4th album. I'm not super familiar with Circa Survive after the first 3 albums, but she is a huge fan. My store only got 1 copy of this, so I said, you know, if they had it, I would get it, so I got that, since my list was relatively small. I've listened to everything except these first 2 titles I'm going to show, so I don't have much to say about these first 2, but this is Slaughter Beach Dog. This is Live at the Cabin. Slaughter Beach Dog is a modern kind of indie rock alt country band. This is some sort of live recording. From the looks of it, it might be just an acoustic recording at his house, but I know nothing about it. I love Slaughter Beach Dog. I don't have any of their stuff on vinyl. I used to, got rid of it. I need to get some of it back. But this is a double LP set, comes with an insert, cut at 45 RPM on what they're calling sage green vinyl. So this looks really nice. Can't wait to listen to this. Really love this band. Loved their last album quite a bit. Crying, Laughing, Waving, Smiling. Check that out if any of that sounds interesting to you. And then I did get the Van Halen Live in Dallas 1991. I had an OG of 5150. I'm a Van Hagar guy. I think I've talked about that before. I had OG 5150. I got rid of it when they announced the Van Hagar box set, and then you know what I never got? The Van Hagar box set. And now that seems to be fully out of print on vinyl, which sucks that I waited too long to get one of those. However, might not be the end of the world, because now that that box set has come out, I'm starting to see more copies of OU812 in the wild. So I think I probably have a good chance of I could get an OG of 5150 back, OG of OU812 back, get the standalone reissue of Unlawful Carnal Knowledge, and then I really going to be missing Balance, which I don't listen to a ton, and the bonus disc in that box set. So might not end up getting it anyway, but definitely wanted to get this. I figured I was probably not going to have too difficult of a time getting this one. They made a lot of them because it's a popular title. So 3-sided live album from the, I guess this would have been the Unlawful Tour, double LP, nice polyline sleeves, Van Halen logo etching on the back, leaves a little bit to be desired, but not as much to be desired as the next record I'm going to show. So yeah, been hearing very good things about this. I will probably have time to spin this tomorrow. Did not get a chance to yesterday, probably won't today, but I'll probably be listening to this on the Slaughter Beach Dog tomorrow. Okay, now, I posted about this on the Discogs entry, on how disappointed I was with this release, and I got a lot of feedback saying that maybe I got a bad copy, or that maybe I don't know how to handle records properly, or that my system isn't set up right. It is very rare, very, very rare in this day and age that I buy a record, particularly a reissue of a record that I know and love, that I am extremely disappointed by. Like, I've bought reissues before that maybe don't sound, amazing, but I've never had, it's been a long time. I cannot remember the last time I got as much of a goose egg as this record is. In more ways than one, I am terribly, terribly disappointed by it. I'm not getting rid of it because I like the music, but I'll talk about it. This is Helmet, Betty. Everything about this release, I think, sucks. Let's dive in. I am not usually a person that complains about records not being a gatefold unless, double albums being not being gatefold, rather, unless the single pocket gatefold physically cannot fit everything inside of it. That's the only time I really care. But this is floppy. This is bullshit, cheap record jacket cardboard from a major label. It's always the major labels that cut fucking corners. This jacket sucks. It's flimsy, stupid, hate it. These inner sleeves suck. What is the point? What's the fucking point of this? You could have had a gatefold and had the lyrics and liner notes in the gatefold. And now again, this leaves a little bit to be desired too, but I would have rather had, again, polylined inner sleeves, not a thing I usually complain about, but it's sort of the cherry on top of the suckage of this release. And these are these really annoying glossy paper ones that, are not good for anybody or any record. But I would have been happy if it was a gatefold and this was on the inside. Obviously, yes, it would have been nice if there was a photo or something on the end there, but at least I would have taken that with some nicer inner sleeves. The etching. This is a 3-sided album with an etching. Can you even see that? Useless etching. It's an etching of a rose, a white rose. There you go, you can kind of see it there. Like it has on the cover. But why even bother putting an etching on the D side if it's gonna look like fucking nothing? It looks terrible. Nothing going on. I don't know what better etching there could have been. Maybe the rectangle helmet logo would have been nice. I just don't know. I would have much rather preferred this to be a 45 RPM double LP and then get rid of the etching entirely. I think that would have solved the last problem I have with this release, is that I hate the way it sounds. Now, objectively, it's not a bad sound quality. The sound quality is good. It's not distorted. It's not lo-fi in any way. It is a good sounding record, but I hate this whatever mix master they used for this. It's all drums. It's all fucking drums. The guitars and bass are way too low in the mix. And for a Helmet record, that cannot be the case. I need Page's guitar to fucking slap me in the face. Again, apparently I'm in the minority on this, but I was pretty bummed out, especially when I found out that Interscope Records released kind of like a limited version of this for their Interscope Anniversary series earlier this year. That was a gatefold, and had a bunch of extra goodies in it. Apparently, also, these were supposed to come with lithographs, which they did not come with. So yeah, I only listened to it once. I will listen to it again because, again, I like the music. I like Helmet a lot. At this time, I'm not planning on getting rid of it, but far and away one of the most disappointing Record Store Day releases I have ever bought. Just shit the bed on all fronts. All right, let's talk about some more positive records like this. The -5, Down with Wilco. Again, I'm surprised I got the Helmet because it seemed like the Helmet was very popular. They only had 2. Both of them were still in the box when I got there. This seemed like it was going to be high on people's want lists as well. They only had 1. I got it. So the -5, not a band I listened to a ton, but Scott McCoy, who was in REM, started this band. He was also in Young Fresh Fellows. -5 have a lot of music out there. And I picked up one of their Record Store Day releases before that also had Jeff Tweedy on it. That looked really nice, but musically not totally my thing. This record was really felt like it was built in a lab for me. This is essentially a, more or less REM Wilco collaborative album. Obviously, Scott McCoy fronts the band. Peter Buck is also on the album. You also have Ken Stringfellow from the Posies, from Big Star Quintet. He's collaborated with REM and related bands a number of times. Recorded in Chicago. This is awesome. It's super Beatlesy kind of power pop, jingle pop. But Scott and Jeff Tweedy share vocals on it. It's awesome. I had never heard this. From the description alone, I knew I wanted to get it. Nice looking package from Yep Rock Records, who tends to always do really good stuff. Poster insert with lyrics. There's a bonus track on this thing as well. This comes on the same sort of baby blue vinyl that the Helmet does. So really, really awesome. Nice discovery. I figured I would not be doing myself a disservice by taking a chance on that. Because this was really the only thing, like, musically I really wasn't familiar with. I knew all about it. I knew all the people involved, but the actual songs, I had no, knew nothing about it. Modest Mouse. Baron Von Bullshit rides again live at the Social in Orlando, Florida, 2004. This, I felt like I heard as well that this one was going to be desirable, and I think they made way too many of them because you can get this now for like $15 on Discogs. Okay, sorry. Thought I heard my cat being rapscallion in there. But yeah, this was recorded on the, I believe, the Moon and Antarctica tour. Although, actually, no, I'm sorry, 2004. So this would have been right before Good News came out. But I don't know if there's actually any Good News songs on this. I'm not super familiar with Good News. My Modest Mouse fandom kind of stops at Moon and Antarctica. I like everything they've done for the most part, but as far as the stuff I need on vinyl, that early period stuff. This is an awesome live recording. Super fun. If you like those first few Modest Mouse records, definitely get this. Just on black vinyl, which normally on a Record Store Day release I would complain about, but I only have Modest Mouse stuff on standard black vinyl anyway. So yeah, this was awesome. I mean, plain and simple, bare bones, but bare bones in a good way. The sleeve is a nice textured cardboard. Helmet Betty didn't have that. So yeah, so ended up getting all that that I needed. So I put back the Grateful Dead. I put back the Buffalo Springfield. I got those at my local. Record Wonderland, Roselle, shouts out. And then went over to Cheap Kiss Records in Villa Park because they said they had this album. They had one copy of it left when I got there, and I bought it. And this, I think, seemingly seemed to be the thing I wanted the most, and I think it's probably because my local didn't get it, so I was like, I gotta hunt this down. And out of everything I've heard so far, this is probably still my favorite thing I've bought. I was really excited about this. This is the Veronicas, Hook Me Up. This is their second album, first time on vinyl worldwide. This is a kind of an electro pop with a little bit of kind of punk adjacent tones to it from the mid 2000s, 2007. And boy, does it sound like it. Not in like an annoying dated way, but this fucking sounds like 2007. Like if you were on MySpace or if you watched any sort of young adult television around 2007, you probably heard a number of songs from this record. Untouched was their big single. But this whole record bangs. This whole record is like, I listened to it maybe about a year ago when I was kind of rediscovering it. Because when I was a kid, like my sister was into this, but I wasn't really into it. And now that I have more of an open mind, very much into this. It's a lot more like Electroclash and clubby than I even sort of remember it being, like closer to like a Ladytron almost in some places, but super poppy and total babes. Total babes. This is exactly the type of girl I would have been into in 2007, and still babes, and they're still babely. They're from Australia. That accent comes out on some of the songs here, which is nice and sweet. This is awesome. Wes, if you're watching this, I think you would love this if you don't already know this. But yeah, first time on vinyl worldwide. Comes with this nice insert. I guess I didn't really show the inserts on any of these, but I guess most of them didn't come with inserts. And for a electro pop album from 2007, the vinyl sounds awesome. Some high distortion in a little places, but I mean, really dynamic. Everything I wanted out of the Betty release. And beautiful fluorescent pink vinyl. It's one of those color morphing ones. So you hold it up to the light and it's a little bit more kind of, standard clear and smoke, but then it's got that sort of kind of, silver nugget, gold nugget effect in there. But yeah, I think this was definitely the thing I ended up being most excited about, and was really happy I was able to get the copy. I didn't think this was like in high demand from what I understand. Of all the Record Store Day preview videos I watched, no one was really talking about this from all of the Record Store Day purchasing videos I watched. I didn't follow a single person who bought that. So it didn't seem to be super desirable, but I will say, like, if you bought the Olivia Rodrigo album, if you're a fan of that album, listen to that Veronica's record. It's awesome. All right, so that was Record Store Day Black Friday. Like I said, I got a couple things in the mail. And oh my God, it's December already, which means I got to start doing some year-end videos. Although I think they're going to look a little different than they have in the past. Because I bought a number of 2024 releases, but I really didn't buy a lot of like my top 10. So I don't totally know what I'm going to do for that yet, but it'll be coming. See you in the next one. Thanks.